The thickness of the PCB is not set in stone. Different design requirements, operating environments, and manufacturing specifications all influence PCB thickness in distinct ways. Next, let's examine several key factors that influence PCB thickness. First is the substrate thickness. It provides the most basic structure for the PCB, and therefore have arguably the greatest influence of all factors on the thickness of the PCB. The thickness of the substrate may vary depending on the specific application. For example, in heavy-duty equipment that is subjected to high mechanical stress, choosing a thicker substrate, closer to 0.125 inches, enhances the robustness of the structure. While in space-constrained smartphone, a thinner substrate, approximately 0.031 to 0.04 inches, is a better choice. Second is copper thickness. The copper thickness of the PCB also has a great impact on the overall thickness of the PCB. The thicker the copper layer, the greater the advantage of the board in carrying high current and withstanding heat. For applications requiring high current and superior thermal performance, such as power supply modules, automotive electronics, and industrial control systems. Next is the solder mask thickness. The solder mask is a protective layer that covers the surface of the copper trace, and it is relatively thin, so it has less impact on the overall thickness of the PCB, but it should not be ignored. The standard thickness should be 0.8 mils or greater. Caution! Excessively thick solder mask increases the risk of soldering defects. The layers of PCB is also one of the factors that need to be considered. As the number of PCB layers increases, each additional conductive layer requires a corresponding insulating layer for isolation and bonding, thereby increasing the overall thickness of the PCB. Of course, we can maintain the overall thickness to meet your requirements by using dielectric materials of varying thicknesses. Finally, the types of holes. In the design and manufacture of PCB, different type of hole, such as through hole, blind hole, buried hole, and microvia, require different manufacturing processes and equipment. Typically, standard drilled hole have an aspect ratio of 8:1, but for thicker PCB, larger hole diameter may be required to meet manufacturing requirement. The above outlines several key factors affecting PCB thickness in this installment. We hope this video provides valuable guidance for selecting the appropriate PCB thickness.